Hello, and yes, we have another value, and today it's going to be the value of pressure. Now, it says, I told you there's a few values in a row with a beginning with a P, and pressure is one of them. Now, we all have varying degrees of pressure in our lives. Pressure is necessary to make changes and grow. It encourages us to move forward, develop new ideas, and solve problems. See, it stimulates our creativity and prevents boredom. Pressure certainly does that. Now, if you think you've all heard a story about the difference between coal and diamonds, and a diamond was really coal being put under pressure, and that pressure and that contact made it not only one of the most precious stones, but also one of the hardest. So, you know, we really under pressure, there's some people don't work so well under pressure, and some people thrive under pressure. Well, we're going to talk a little bit more into this in this value, so you get at least an idea about what the value of pressure is about and how to value pressure. See, proactive pressure is a decision we make for ourselves when we are actively seeking to accomplish. See, it stretches and challenges us. It takes us to a higher level. And that's really what pressure, it actually develops us. It shouldn't destroy you, because that's a totally different kind of pressure. But we put pressure on ourselves and others when we want to get something done that is valuable. See, I'm talking from the positive side here. I'll talk a little bit from the negative side too, but this is actually positive. I mean, and as long as you put the pressure on in the right way to other people, you know, the teamwork is really important when an organization is under pressure. And when some people can't handle it or fall apart or don't do, the pressure gets bigger on the other ones, and then we get frustrations, and we need restraint, and we need forgiveness, and all those kind of things, and set some boundaries. All these values are in here as well. But there is a clear difference between pressure and stress. See, we all should live under pressure, but that should not be confused with living under personal stress, because stress comes about when the pressure, for whatever reason, is unrelenting, and we do not have adequate time to recover between events. See, when it keeps piling and piling and piling, and you keep putting it off or whatever, and all of a sudden it gets, you know, some people, a lot of students, they have a wonderful time at university, and all of a sudden the night before an exam, they stay up nearly all night, because now they need to cram it, because they've put unnecessary pressure on themselves. But some people actually thrive under that, and those that can't understand that. But and when you thrive under it, it's usually not done by accident. That all of a sudden, I've got a test tomorrow or in the next week, and I haven't even prepared for it. Not that kind of pressure. That really puts undue pressure on you, and that gives you stress. See, everyone has different thresholds for managing pressure. Personal type, belief systems, coping skills, physical and mental health, and our personal support system all influence the way we respond to pressure. Now, an important difference between those who feel pressured versus those who are stressed is whether we are proactive or reactive. See, when we are proactive, we look ahead and know what is coming and make plans accordingly. See, a reactive person answers to circumstances after the problems are created. And that is really a big difference. And then we still call it pressure, but really it's actually stress we're under. I hope that makes some sense to you. And I can do a whole talk about being proactive and reactive, but that is so true. See, proactive is if you also it's also about responding and reacting. I've talked about that before. When you respond, you think about something before you do something or say something. When you react, it's always from outside influences, influences from people who do things to you and things around you. And then all of a sudden you let rip, and you might have to apologize, and because you didn't show any restraint, you might have asked for forgiveness. But it is quite often things don't fall out of your mouth, or you do things, or you say things, or you show things, you lash out without ever thinking about it, and that's reactive. And responding is actually when you go ahead and when something happens, you take it in, you think of it. Might only be a split second or a couple of seconds, but you think, and then you respond to the situation, to something what somebody says. And the same with being proactive and reactive is along the same things. You know, if you look ahead and you kind of plan things, even though there might be pressure on them, it's not stress because you've planned all these kind of things. And yes, there might be a need for you to complete, but it's very different. I hope you get that difference. And the stress, of course, is if you let things happen all the time and all of a sudden, you know, you're with a pile of work, you've got a deadline that you never planned for, and all these kind of things. And so many people get stressed out these days because of that. And that's why pressure is a value that we really need to take on board, like all the other ones, to help us have better lifestyles, have better health. Now, of course, there's always a few benefits of practicing these values, and this one as well. The benefits of practicing the value of pressure is that you will sharpen your focus. See, pressure encourages you to discard thoughts and activities that are not relevant to the task at hand. See, that keeps you focused. See, this results in increased performance and swifter resolutions as well. So it also talks a bit about focus, because how many times do we sit in front of a laptop and, oh, we'll just have a look on Facebook, and an hour later, oh my, and then we get pressure and then we get stress. When we should focus, and I'm not saying don't do all these other kind of things. And you need, if you especially working from home now, if you are in front of your computer a lot of the time, you need to take some time away to actually take care of your health. So they say roughly every 90 minutes, take a break, whether it's only for 10 minutes. And in that 10 minutes, if you want to spend the full 10 minutes on social media, or go for a walk around, stretch your legs, get a glass of water or a cup of coffee, whatever you want to do. But you need to make breaks regular in your day, especially when you've not been used to doing it this way. Because before at work, you could walk to the office, you could walk to the coffee machine, go do all these kind of things. And now, boom, you're sitting there with all the stresses from family life around you as well. So, but due pressure, proper pressure will sharpen your focus. Then the other one is you will uncover your potential and capacity. When you are under pressure, you discover what you are capable of and the number of things you can accomplish. And that is the positive side of pressure. And some characteristics of a person who practices the value of pressure is that these people do not need supervision. They get things done because they put positive pressure on themselves to meet standards, deadlines, and goals. I hope that makes sense. And another thing these people do is these people design strategies to reach goals and maximize resources. See, they include others whenever possible so that they can tap into their creativity and create buy-in. Now, even that makes sense. So don't put yourself under undue pressure by trying to do it all by yourself. These people who value the practice of pressure, they actually make sure that they include others, they delegate, they work in teams, rather than trying to do it all yourself. Especially there's some things that you're not good at. I talk about this when I do a behavior analysis, a profile for people as a consultant, and they're amazed where their strengths are and their areas for improvement. And those areas for improvement, that's where you should really delegate things. But you need to know yourself first, a whole different story. And I will do a course on this as well. But then there are some steps to follow to increase your ability to handle pressure. And the first one is alleviate unnecessary stress. I talk about it in self-care, what stress can do to you, how to alleviate it. So also go to the self-care series, which is also available on this platform if you listen to this. And it's also free, 44 videos about self-care. We need to look after ourselves better. But maintaining a healthy lifestyle is an effective way to reduce the amount of stress you experience. See, healthy eating, limiting caffeine and alcohol consumption, adequate sleep and regular exercise all contribute to your physical, emotional, and even spiritual well-being. And I talk about each of these in the separate videos in the self-care series. So go there. If that's one of your steps to follow, go to the self-care series and start putting a self-care plan together. And I'm not talking about 2 hours a day on the treadmill. No, a brisk walk, 20 to 30 minutes, three times a week is if you're not doing any exercise now, is really going to be beneficial to you. And a little bit more healthy eating. I don't say you can't go to the fast food every now and then, but all in proportion, all in small matters, not every day of the week. And then the second one is look for possibilities in every situation. That is also a great step to follow, because discipline yourself to see things as they could be and not just as they are. Now that's powerful, by the way. Choose a positive attitude and use your creativity to bring solutions. Now it's also with people, if you're going to work with people, see them as a 10 and let them prove you wrong if that ever happens. But also, there is a saying, see people as they could be and help them to get there, not as they are, and keep them there. I hope that also makes sense. So the same for you. Discipline yourself to see things as they could be and not just as they are. So have that vision, look ahead, and here are 2 steps. And of course, every time I'm asking you, there might be other steps you can take to handle and develop the way you handle pressure better. But any of these steps, what are you going to do? When are you going to do it? Who are you going to do it with? And how are you going to do that? Write that down and follow through with action. And when you do, your life will vastly improve in so many areas, including your health. So I will see you in the next video. Take care of your pressure. Take care of your health. Bye now.